What's going on, lads and lasses? Welcome back to 100% Mags. So if you could please hit a like on the video and also subscribe to the channel. So without further ado, let's get into the news of today's video, and of course it comes as of 8 o'clock tonight. Newcastle United released a statement on the club website, the official club website, and of course that statement was picked up by Sky Sports. It was issued as well towards Sky Sports, which they published it on their website. And of course, the statement is as follows. The club continues to receive requests for updates on its current arbitration claim against the EPL, considering the lawfulness of the EPL's decisions regarding the proposed takeover of the club from PIF. And of course, that means that they're getting requests daily from press, journalists, pretty much everybody who's anybody is contacting the club, wanting to find out what is happening with the takeover, what's happening with the arbitration case. And basically the club replied with, unfortunately the club is unable to make any comment about the arbitration. The EPL rules provide the entire arbitration process is confidential. However, both parties can agree for it to be in the public, which has been talked about quite a lot. That, you know, Newcastle's got absolutely nothing to hide. They want it to be in the public, and this is basically what they're stating in this statement, that they want it to be in public. The club believes it should be in public. The issue, of course, at stake, including the lawfulness of the Premier League decision-making process and the widely publicised alleged influence of the EPL's commercial partners on the EPL's decisions, are of far wider interest to other football clubs, fans and the public in general. So basically it's not just Newcastle United, but it also has interest for the other teams, the other 13 teams, plus Newcastle added into that, then the 6 as well, the fans of all them teams as well. And this needs to be put in the public, and this is what the club's saying. It needs to be done in public, and it can be done in public as well. For some reason, the Premier League want to keep it behind closed doors, and I know that reason why they want to keep it behind closed doors. And I've known this reason for a long time, and I'm sure quite a lot of people know this reason as well. It's because the Premier League is corrupt. They've got dodgy dealings going on behind closed doors, and they don't want anybody to know that. They don't want anybody to know what is going on behind them doors at Canary Wharf at the Premier League's headquarters. They don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know that they were involved in the ASL and the 6 wanting to make a move away to that ASL. They don't want you to know that, and that's why they want to keep these cases, the arbitration case, behind closed doors. They want the CAT case behind closed doors. If that doesn't prove, to a court of law that the Premier League is corrupt, then nothing ever will. Even Beloff, who was on the board for the arbitration panel, we've literally pointed him out that he's worked for the Premier League in the past, which the Premier League weren't quite happy at that neither. So that shows you, how corrupt the Premier League really are. And basically the rest of it goes on to say that the recent attempt to break away by some Premier League clubs, which is of course the ESL, and the reaction of the government and its public to it, has again highlighted the need for transparency and fairness in football governance. Gone are the days when important decisions that affect clubs and their fans should be made secretly, behind closed doors and away from the public eye. The club has nothing to hide, which Newcastle United are saying we have nothing to hide with respect to the arbitration, and invites the EPL to agree that it should no longer be held behind closed doors. If the EPL has acted lawfully and properly, it should have no reason to be afraid of the public spotlight, which is fully recognisable and respected by the club. That if the Premier League have got nothing to hide, then why don't they do it in the spotlight? Clearly they've got something to hide. To date, the EPL has strongly resisted any public scrutiny of its decision-making process. It's tried and failed to prevent the High Court's judgment about elements of the arbitration case being published last February. it is currently attempting to prevent the competition courts considering a claim by the club's sellers for taking place in public, which is of course the CAT case, arguing that too much should be held in confidential arbitration. So the club has invited the EPL to agree, as the claim raises such importance of issues of sports governance, transparency and openness that it should be held in public. The club is prepared for every stage of this process to be in the public. The public should be able to see the parties' evidence and arguments, as well as the full decision of the tribunal when it is made, which is fully understandable, because at the end of the day, without fans in football, you do not have football. This is something that needs to be put through the thick skulls of these higher ups at these governing bodies, that without fans you have no football. And yes, we might have just went through a Premier League season or two, with no fans at the stadium, but look at how it's affected the game. Look at how it's affected the game. The government quite rightly threatened to intervene in action to propose the breakaway from the Premier League earlier this year, and the reaction of football fans and the wider public was instrumental in stopping the emergence of the European Super League, the ESL. If the EPL continues to insist that the club's claim must be determined behind closed doors, the club asks that PMs, the government, the media and the general public call on the EPL to finally accept public scrutiny of its decision-making process. There's the statement right there. I fully agree with it. I fully back it. I fully endorse it, because that is what football needs to be. That's what we need in football. We need to get rid of the secretive, behind closed doors meetings, and we need to be focusing on bringing proper, entertaining football back for the masses that go to the grounds on a weekly basis to watch their clubs. They pay the money for the shirts. They pay their money for the tickets to go watch the teams home, away, in foreign countries, and the fans deserve every bit of input that they can in their clubs, because it is absolutely beyond a joke the way the Premier League has ran this. It's 523 days today that this takeover has been going on for. 17 months, almost 18 months next month, that this takeover has been going on for. It is time to end it, and end it now, and put Newcastle United's takeover through, and let us go back and have our chance at competing in the Premier League, because it is absolutely pathetic the way they are running this, and it's absolutely beyond disbelief. It's how this is being processed across the board of football. It looks pathetic. It makes the English game look weak, and something needs to be done about it. People need to be kicked out of their jobs if they can't do it. If you did this in any other job, you'd be kicked out. You'd be locked up as well, because it's corruption. It's fraud. It shouldn't happen in the game. And that is what Newcastle's trying to stop. And not just for ourselves, but for all of the clubs in the Premier League, for all of the clubs to come to the Premier League in the future, and for other clubs in other countries as well who are getting this done against them too. If we bring light to it now, then there's so many clubs down the line that will be saved from this corruption. If you liked this video, please put a like on the video. Also subscribe to the channel if you're new around chat, or if you haven't done it yet. And I do apologise for my voice in this video if it is been quite annoying to listen to. It's still quite sore off, of course, England versus Germany. Hopefully it'll be sorted and back in time for the game in the quarterfinals. And I've got to say, it's been an absolutely great international scene to watch at the moment. It's really getting up there now as well. And I just can't wait for that game against Ukraine in Rome on Saturday. If you like this video, please, like I say, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you all next time. And how are the lads?